Good morning, traders. How are we all doing today? Today is February 11th, 2025. Market opens in exactly 1 minute and a half. Give me just a second to spread my links around and we will get started. We are looking at a couple of companies this morning that we see potential in, see value in. So that is what we are going to be looking at today. Thank you for joining our live day trading session. This is great, guys. This is something we do every single day with our group here and our LTE members. So if you want to be a part of that, all you have to do is subscribe to the channel and join our Discord. First link in the description below, and that'll give you 100% free lifetime access to this this community. All right, market opens in 30 seconds. We're going to see what's going on with XPEV. I do have a position in XPEV and in tomorrow betting against crypto. Crypto is very bearish at the moment, but XPEV could have a nice reversal. Now, we don't want to miss out on other opportunities, so we are very light on this position while still being aware of any other positions that may come about. Okay, guys, I want you to be aware of that. So links are spread around. The market is about to open. And here we go. Market is officially open, guys. Market is open here. We're going to be looking at XPEV to see if we get a nice little reversal. It is possible. Mara looking like it's selling off as well with Bitcoin, which is okay. We have a very light position in Mara. Okay, Coca-Cola pushing up out of that threshold today. As you can see here, it traded within this consolidation period for quite some time. We kept talking about it in our Sunday stock talk, and it finally went ahead and pushed up above almost everything, right? So markets as of right now don't seem to be doing too good. Let's see. Overall markets are still bullish, but have been selling off this morning. So it's going to be retesting that area of resistance. Everything else red today. Everything else opening up red. Apple is our winner today. Apple pushing up very nicely from 226 to 231. Everything else is red. Stocks that I'm watching today was PLTR. PLTR is pushing up very nice on the open, retesting. Uber pushed up to 79. SoFi still at that $15 level, so we're kind of watching that right now. SMCI on the downward trend from $43, finally losing a bit of that steam from $25 up to 43, now down to 40. We'll see if we get a reversal or if this is going to continue to sell off more. Lunar seems to be holding support at about 1935, 1940 level. Right now it's at 1950. XPEV finding support at 1550s, 1540s. That's kind of why I got into this trade, because it is holding support there. And then, of course, Sound is selling off. Sound can go back to $13 today. So, Bitcoin retesting this moving average. Are we going to see 98 today, or are we going to go back to 95? I got a little bit shares in Mara. It started out with like 1 share and then 5 and then 10. Now I'm in 20 shares, so I guess you consider this to be one of my first swing trades of 2025. Let's see, gold. Gold was selling off this morning, which pushed JDST up from $20 to $21 overnight. That was very nice. Overall trades today that we are taking, my positions here. Of course, we got 10 shares in Snap from people signing up with the link. If you guys want to join WEBULL or like the way this looks and want to learn more and use WEBULL as your daily brokerage, you definitely can sign up with the first pinned comment in the comment section. That'll give you 75 free fractional shares, up to 75 shares. It's free money just for signing up with the brokerage. You can have multiple brokerages, so if you use Robinhood or a different type of brokerage, you can still have another one. I myself have 3 different brokerages. I started with TD Ameritrade many years ago when there was a fee, and then I went to Robinhood, and now I use WEBULL. Snap pushing up very nicely. Ford also, I have 18 shares of Ford, so I have some swing trades this year, guys. I'm not much of a swing trader, more of a day trader, but because of those free shares, I figured why not hold a few of those, right? Apple pushing up very nicely, up 1% on Apple from today. Spotify is also up slightly today. Google is up very nicely, nice rebound from Google. And Coca-Cola again up, it was up 4% this morning from Coca-Cola from that breakout. Now XPEV, we were looking for a little bit more of a push, and it could still happen. It's still trying to figure out what it wants to do, but it is maintaining above those moving averages at that moment in time. So let's see if it holds. We're going to buy 10 more shares at market of XPEV. As this begins to rise up, back up to 1590 to test this moving average at 16, we're going to slowly add to our position, starting our first position at, was at 9 o'clock, about 7 o'clock this morning at the 1550s level, 1560, and then we just bought again at 1566. I'd love to get a nice move from XPEV. This is a car company, a China-based car company with fully automated electric flying vehicles by 2026. You know, however you want to think of it, or however you want to. We're gonna add 50 here at 1568. Because it is showing signs of upward momentum, we're going to go ahead and add more shares and get a little bit more heavy on this. That way we don't have a super high average, okay? But as this makes progress, we are going to continue to push up with this company. Good morning, 50 average. How you doing, sir? Good morning, welcome. So we've got snow on the ground, guys, here again in New Mexico in the USA. New Mexico. No, I don't live in Mexico. And yes, New Mexico is in the United States. For some reason I get that all the time. Do you still live in America? Yes, I live in America. New Mexico is right underneath Colorado. For everyone who doesn't know that. Wow. Okay, loving it, guys. Mara trying to rebound. I would love to buy a little bit more down here, but I already have about $300 or so, and it's looking very bullish. Do you see how this is selling off, retesting these moving averages as a resistance? If it doesn't hold, it can get rejected even more, obviously, because Bitcoin is in that selling off period. Now, if it continues to push up, we'll make a few bucks on Mara. If not, this isn't a big issue to me, as I wouldn't mind holding Mara overnight if I had to. But again, this isn't something I necessarily would want to swing trade, just simply day trade. So here we go. We're testing. Are we testing any previous resistance? No, doesn't look like it. I mean, there is some resistance from the other day, 1560s. 1560s. Yeah, there is some resistance there. If we can break those 1570 levels, we can push up even higher. Looks like we are about to break 1570. That'd be great. You know, we have 80 shares, about $1,200. If it pushes up $1, we'll make 80 bucks. You know, if we have to cut our losses and it comes back down just a little bit, you know, we could lose 10 bucks or so, right? So I'm willing to risk about $10 to make anywhere from 20 to, you know, like $20 realistically. That's a 1 for 2. But it could go as high as $100. It really could. Snap also finding that key level here. If it can actually break above this moving average, we can see some more buying buyer step in, and it can get back up to 1070, maybe test 1070 as a resistance, or possibly push back up to $11 from yesterday's high, and that is on Snap. We may even add a little bit more to Snap since it's so cheap. Also not a good idea to be in multiple positions at the same time. I have been trading for quite some time now, and I find a little bit more success in doing it the way I do, adding a few shares to a few positions as they begin to push up, adding more to that position that's favoring for the day. Some of these might not move as much. Adding 10 to Snap. Showing signs of confirmation that it is bullish still. Let's see if this does push up a little bit higher, maybe to 1070 or so. I'm going to set my alert at 1069. And I'm going to set my alert for 1050. If it breaks 1050, we'll get out of this Snap position. Okay, it's a very light position. XPEV, same thing. We want our alert set at like 1588. Create an alert above 1588. And then if this gets lower than, may say my stop, was it $10 or so? We could even have a stop ready. And as this pushes up, we can increase our stop. Don't necessarily like to do that right off the bat, but you can. So 1540. I'd rather just set an alert. Create an alert below 1540s. Ford probably isn't going to do much. It's one of those companies that it pays a dividend. It just sold off a little bit. But if this can maintain a nice support level of around 912-ish, then we could start loading up around the 9s. And then when this pushes back up to 10, we can make a nice decent amount of money on a pretty decent swing trade. I mean, it is Ford Motor Company, right? Snap, same thing I'm trying with Snap, right? Trying to get these nice highs, this nice reversal pattern. XPEV, same thing, a nice reversal pattern up to those highs again. That's what we like to trade here, reversal patterns. Apple pushing up. Apple is up 1.3%. Spotify not really doing much either, just kind of chilling at that level. And Google, Alphabet, went all the way up to 188, and it's coming back down to test that moving average. Coca-Cola pushed up like crazy. That's amazing. Can't believe how much Coca-Cola pushed up today. 4% out of that breakout zone, guys. We've been watching this breakout zone for quite some time. I mean, a while now we've been watching this breakout zone, right? Be careful with this, though. There could be a gap fill. It could come all the way back down to $64 and retest, or even $65. Okay, so be careful if you want to get in now, as it is a bit overbought. Now, it doesn't mean it can't push up even higher to $70 or even $72. That's where its previous resistance levels were. But right now, these will now turn into support levels. Very cool. Big Mara selling off still. Nice downward trend. Now Mara can go back down to easily, any level. $13, $8. So that definitely a very risky play here on Mara. Betting for crypto. Crypto pushes up today to 98 as it's trying to maintain that $97,000 level today. Then we can see Mara push up very significantly, and we can make a decent amount of money on Mara. If it pushes up to 1750, we can make about a 4% profit. XPEV pushes up to where we want. That's another 2% to about 8% profit. And Snap would be nice. That's weird. How come it doesn't let me do it on this one? POS 80. POS. That's weird. It only lets me do it on certain ones. Maybe because they're fractional. Yeah, some of these are fractional shares. I think that's exactly why. Doesn't know how to calculate a fractional share. Mini cents, Arizona here. Major, morning. Morning. Might just get a lot of choppiness right now, guys. What are you guys watching? You guys watching anything? Mara's pushing because of Bitcoin. A lot of red today, though. Definitely some red. XPEV retesting, moving average. And XPEV, it doesn't, this doesn't have to run up super high, like super fast, the way we're kind of used to on the channel either. It's going to have a very slow moving kind of action today, just very slow trickle. I mean, it could take several days to get back up to where we want it to be. Tempest AI. Wow, yeah, good job. Good job today. Very beautiful push from that moving average, showing as support, pushing from $66.50 to $78. What a beautiful move in just a few minutes. Boom, 13.5%. Good job, mini cents. Looks like it's caught a lot of resistance at 75.99. Yeah, but it looks like majority of that resistance is about 75.30s. 75.30s. In Nike pushing up too from 70 to 72. TDOC, there was people that traded this yesterday and made pretty good money here. MNTS, I was looking at MNTS because it seems to be, there's just no volume. That's a big thing right here. 2.66 million float, only 400,000 volume. Yesterday, that was a trade to make yesterday. FOXX pushing up. PLTR testing its highs, previous levels. Or I think it broke those levels, right? 1866. Yeah, broke previous highs. Palantir, man. Palantir is on fire. LIPO pushed up 33%. It's now selling off. EVAX. I thought EVAX might push up today. I was looking at it this morning. I was like, if it could break this moving average, we could probably see some more upward momentum. It did. It's at 280. But 280 is a previous level for bag holders. So I'd be careful with that. What's the news on this? There's no news on EVAX. It literally just crossed over due to fundamentals. See that? Testing. Held. Pew, push. All right, back to our positions. Very slow going, but still holding, honestly, this is still holding above that moving average there. XPEV, same thing, still holding above the moving averages and the VWAP. Although 1575, there's some resistance there. Ford, you really got to back out on Ford, man. It has a lot. It has 3.88 billion free float and not very much volume at all. But as this begins to consolidate on this levels, you get the 3 stages of reversal where you get that nice rejection period, 11% sell-off. You get that nice consolidation period, and then before you know it, you get the confirmation period where it pushes up, resulting in a nice 10 or 12% profit. Definitely a slow going swing trade. It doesn't even have to go back up to $10. But, somewhat safe for beginners if you guys are looking into getting into a swing trade. Now, nothing is safe. Let me just tell you that right now. Trading is risky. Investing in general is risky, whether it's long-term, short-term, or even day trading like this. I just want you guys to know it is risky, okay? All right, something's pushing up because we are now up almost $10 on the day. Snap, again, holding those levels for at least right now. Finding a lot of resistance at 1058, 1057 on Snap. XPEV. All right, this is what we have majority of our position in, a majority of our shares in. If this can push above 1575, then we will buy some more, as it can continue to push up higher, even to 1590 or even to 1694. That would be a beautiful move, around $100 in profit. Doesn't mean it has to. It could easily start to sell off right now. So please, I don't ask you to copy my trades, as one, copying people is not the best idea, and two, these trades can go against me. You could lose money, and I would definitely not want to be blamed for your losses. Okay. And I don't take credit for your successes either. Okay, it's all you. If you do decide to make a trade, we're here to show you fundamentals, why I'm taking these trades, why I see value in them, thought process behind it, so you can then understand better on your own how to trade. So how do we find these companies today? We simply just have them on our watch list. We have a series of companies that we watch now in 2025. Right now we have 8 positions that we're currently watching. Sometimes they're call outs from people, sometimes they're just companies that I see value in. Now, NNE was a company that we were looking at. Someone called it out and was asking about it. As you can see, it's making like this kind of bull flag pattern, but the thing is it can cross over. If it can't hold this support, it'll sell off very dramatically back to where it needs to, and if it can push above this trend line, then it would actually make higher highs. It looks like it's actually making lower lows. So that's just a cool little indicator for some people to see. If I were to hide the super trend and the VWAP, you can get a better understanding of exactly what I'm looking at here. So this green line is the moving average, and as it's curling over, it's actually getting tested. These candlesticks are now using it as like a ceiling, right? It's kind of pushing it down and having it as a resistance. When it's above it, it acts as like a floor that you could step on. Palantir, right, at those highs, resistance highs. Uber finding new levels of resistance and new levels of support. So I like to draw those out right here. It's actually passing that support. Or I'm sorry, it's actually passing that previous resistance level. See that right there? It's testing resistance. If it breaks above resistance, it'll continue to remain bullish. If it gets rejected, they'll off. That's what's so cool about support and resistance levels. SoFi would have been a great little move today from 15 and starting to slowly push up, as you can see here. Selling off. When it's selling off under those moving averages, it'll sell off more. If it can get just above this moving average, we can see it bullish, and it can go from bearish to bullish very quickly. If it gets rejected, it can actually sell off back to those $14 levels. That's why I love moving averages so much. Here we go, 30 minutes time frame on SMCI. Again, above those moving averages very nicely. Gonna come back up and test that 43.55 support level. Or I'm sorry, resistance level. If it can get back above and break, we'll be more bullish. If it can't break it, it'll be more bearish. And this is the simplest way of trading, in my opinion. Now, this is very, what would you say, guys? Bearish or bullish? It's bearish. So since February 3rd, February 4th, it hasn't been able to get above this moving average, showcasing that, hey, this is bearish. It's going to continue to sell off. It's sold off. It came up and tested it yesterday, slightly testing it, and it's selling off. If it can't hold on to this moving average, then it'll continue to sell off until one day the moving average will come down low, say 16, 17. It'll push back up from those levels. Doesn't have to, but it can. Okay, it could also find support here at $19. You kind of see where there's some support levels in play. It could also bounce off of that area here, and it could actually recover too. Okay, so a lot of different key indicators, a lot of key different areas of support, resistance, consolidation, and then those breakouts, right? Stocks just don't move for no reason. They move due to news, catalyst, or technical indicators most of the time. Okay, there can be people buying at 19. There could be institutions that don't want it to go below 19. There could be multiple sellers selling at 19 because they don't want it to go higher than 19 or 20. So there becomes a battleground within this area. Now, another thing I like to tell our new beginner traders, since we have so many people watching, is I usually wait about 30 minutes before trading, as it paints a better picture. The market likes to tell a story and paint a picture the first 30 minutes. You get a lot of choppiness the first 30 minutes to an hour, and sometimes you don't have a clear direction until well into, an hour of the live stream, right? So, like, Lunar had a nice bullish pattern, but it took a little while to form. This could be a nice bullish pattern again, but it's going to take just a little while to form. Is it going to make those highs back to 20? It could, for a nice 5% profit. Or this can actually get rejected and sell back off to $18 for a 5 or 6% loss. So that is the hardest thing when trading, is many traders want to try to predict the future, or become these awesome fortune tellers. But the great traders that I noticed, the ones that are making money, are the ones that are just following the trends. They're following the direction of the company. If it goes up, we trade it. If it goes down, we wait. Or you short it because you know that it's going down. Hope that helps. Exis was just stuck in a trade. Hate when that happens. Got to learn to be patient and not just jump in. Got out with 20. Hey, profits. And you get to learn a lesson today. Okay, most people, when they learn a lesson, they either get hurt or they lose money. And you were able to make a lesson and get out with $20 profit. That's good, right? That's amazing. And now you know for next time, hey, let's be a little more patient, right? I jumped the gun on this one. I was like, man, Snap is looking good. We got some key support levels. That's another thing that I like to look at here. Not only has it been at this support level previously in February, but it's been at this support level in January, multiple times in January, again in December of last year, and multiple times in November, showcasing that Snap has a really strong support at 1050. And by understanding that one thing, I was then able to determine, hey, I want to take a trade on this today. And that was it. That was my key factor to taking a trade on Snap. Now, Snap is going to test this moving average eventually. And if we can get above the moving average, we can get a nice explosive move out, right, from moving average to highs. That's a 4% profit. Now, if it can get above this moving average, we can very easily see that happen again. From 1070 to 11, a nice 3.7% profit. Sorry. Now, a lot of times, Kristen, did you trade today? I'm in trades right now, Kristen. I'm currently up $6 and holding on quite a few positions, or a couple positions. Got $200 in Snap, up about 1%. XPEV up about 0.5%, but that's the majority of my money, $1,258. So by identifying Snap, we can make some good money, guys, right? We can make it a decent amount of money here. 5% profit by getting in at those low levels and just being patient, right? Same thing with XPEV. I did notice there was a support here at that 1528 level. It could continue to sell off, but I did notice, hey, it's starting to curl over, starting to first time coming above these moving averages. So we're going to take a trade. This is my large position, 80 shares, $1,200, up about 0.5% point. Ford, again, I think we're just going to swing trade Ford. We're going to continue to add some shares to this. We're almost at $200 in shares. Again, some of these positions were because I got free money from people signing up with my link. Mara pushing up today, very nice, and that's based off of Bitcoin levels. Again, I don't normally trade Bitcoin when they're overbought like this, but when we start seeing signs of, again, what is this? Consolidation, support, areas of potential opportunity of reversal. Doesn't mean it has to happen. This could continue to consolidate and trade sideways, but if we can break through, like say 98,000, we can make a decent amount of profit as it would begin to be more bullish. You could also take advantage of these horizontal levels, buying at the low, selling at the high, and doing it across multiple days, if not weeks. So if we can get above 97, then Mara will continue to push up, again, trading off of these levels, buying at 1650, selling at 1750. Buying at 1650, selling at 1750. And by churning and making $1 per share a day, 20, 30, 40 shares at a time. I like to trade with 100 shares when I get into a really good position, and making, $100 a day on $1 moves by identifying support and resistance levels. And that's what I feel like we do a really good job here. And that's exactly what I want to teach you guys. Okay. We're not going to be messing with any more pre-market momentum trades, penny stocks, or anything of the matter. We want to make sure that we're looking at patterns. We understand the patterns, and we can take advantage of those patterns, support levels, resistance levels, etc. Okay? And if you're new and this is all a little confusing, or it's just kind of going over your head a little bit, please check out my Learn to Earn lesson library. It's 10 or 12 short videos that explain everything as far as candlesticks, how to read these Japanese candlesticks, moving averages, exponential moving averages, support and resistance levels, trend lines, and how to make your first trade. Set up WEBULL, create a paper trading account if you want to paper trade. I recommend paper trading first instead of trading with real money. And just learn from there. Start to learn, start to educate yourself a little bit, and then you'll have a better understanding of why I'm taking trades, and then eventually how you can take your own trades and make money as well. SMCI pushing up, okay? So see, it's why it's nice to tell a better picture. Everyone coming in pre-market was like, I'm going to short SMCI. It's above that, it's below the resistance. Well, give it a little bit of time to do what it wants to do. Showcase signs of that bullishness. It crossed over these moving averages here, and once it crossed over the moving average and that 200-day green line here, it became bullish, up almost 3.5% by being patient, right? Now you could have also bought at these lower levels, 39.80, 39.90, but I would not buy into something that would be actively selling off. The bigger picture here was at the first candle was this sell-off. And we get those a lot with bull traps as well. We think something's going to push up, and then it immediately flushes and begins to sell off, like this, Palantir. Palantir, we're thinking, okay, it might be bearish. Well, it might be bullish now because it's up on that level, and then it flushes, and then it skyrockets, and then boom, it sells back off. Okay, so being quick on certain trades too, identifying resistance, right, at 1866. And now support at 116. Hey, could this be another play right here? From 116 to 118, it very much could be. 2.5% profit. So there's many areas to be able to make money, not just at the open, but during the middle, during when you find key levels of resistance, like 1067 now is a resistance, because it was a previous support level, pre-market and after hours. Can we get above 1067? Let's see. We're almost up 1% on our XPEV, or I'm sorry, on Snap. We're up 1% on Snap. XPEV, we're up almost 1% as well. Very choppy, very weird kind of, direction, choppiness going on, but the direction's still in our favor. So as direction stays in our favor, then we will continue to add to our position size, right? As long as this stays bullish, we will continue to add. So adding 10 more shares here at 1576. Now, why am I adding? Kristen, quick come in and out in just a few minutes. Normal can have good profits. Yep. And I like it. I mean, I really enjoy trading pre-market momentum trades, but you really have to be quick, know what you're doing, cut your losses fast, and also have the liquidity, right? I could use all $2,000 in this small account and use it up on pre-market momentum trades in like 10 minutes. And then I don't have any money left or any liquidity left or cash on hand to make future trades. And I've had past videos, and we may get into it more, right? I just want to find that traction again. A few months ago, we were making $100, $200 a day within like 5, 10, 15 minutes. I know that's very attractive, and I know it's possible to do. But I want to make sure that when these new beginners are coming in, we're getting a lot of new beginners in the channel. I want to make sure that we're educating them first, and we're teaching them the right way to trade. And then we could always get into some pre-market stuff. And for some of our advanced traders, maybe that would be more helpful too. You know, maybe we have two sections. Maybe we have a pre-market momentum trading day, pre-market, and then we have another session for new traders. The thing with pre-market momentum trades is you also have to get up early. Like 5 o'clock a.m. for me, it would be the price. Okay, I'm buying a few more here. Got 100 shares at 1567. I bought it this low because it is bouncing off of that moving average. Let's see if it holds. Can you talk a little bit about call and put? Calls are for long options. Puts are for shorting. Oh yeah, Exys explains it well too. Calls is when you expect the price to go up. Puts is when you expect the price to go down before expiration. That is correct. I do not trade options, okay? But we do have some members in our community that do. Exys, Major, there's a couple of them. There's a couple of them that trade options, so definitely reach out to them in the Discord. Snap, okay, this is exactly what we were waiting for, that break above the moving average here, right? So we could actually add 10 more shares. So now we have 30 shares at 1060, showing signs of it being bullish. Now it is testing that pre-market level here, pre-market consolidation period, right? We could break above this though. 30 shares, make a little bit more money, up 1% on this. We're up 1% on Snap so far. Potential to go up another 3%. XPEV testing and moving up. Here we go. Okay, so very nice, very clean trades. These are the type of trades that you could potentially hold for the majority of the day. You know, sometimes they'll push up within the first hour or two. Even the first 10 or 20 minutes, like we'll trade SMCI and it'll push up very nicely, very quickly. Mara will push up very quickly within the first like 10, 20 minutes. You know, you get in, you get out, you make your money, and you go about your day. That's what we like to do here. Like this one pushed up in 12 minutes. And sometimes we catch these trades that are a little slower, a little safer, but a little slower. Again, nothing is 100% safe, but by identifying key levels, we can then make a better decision of which way the market's going. Okay, testing this very heavily. Let's see here. All my stocks are forming downtrends now. What is it, 8 o'clock? So 30 minutes. Again, paint a picture. First 30 minutes doesn't mean anything necessarily. Here we go. Actually just broke that support. XPEV was at the area. Look, it's now curling over. Can you see this? This trade was exhausted. And it wasn't even much of a trade at all, from 15 to 1570. Again, it can still push and it can sell back off. So very, very, I want you guys to be aware of that. If the stock price is flat like Ford, I wouldn't even get into it. Like, look at this. You can be in a position for like this for days, weeks, sometimes even months. without no movement. I could be stuck at break even for a long time, right? So you want companies with volume. You want companies that have movement, right? You want a company that has a slight movement up. Even this swing trade would have been nice from 950 to 1030, 7% profit in 2 days, but because it has a trend going up. You can't make anything when there's a flat line. Now, horizontal patterns, on the other hand, you can trade horizontal patterns, right? Because it has these movements, these big volatility spikes to where you can actually play off of them. Looks like Bitcoin is bearish. And again, guys, I mean, this is a different time. Like the period we're in right now, everything's overbought. Everything's at all-time highs. Everything is curling over. Everything's consolidating. Nothing knows what to do at the moment for the markets, okay? Overall markets. Bitcoin, it's been consolidating for literally for months now. Since November 20th, it hasn't gone lower than 91,000 or higher than 109,000. Like, cool, it got to 109. Whoopee, right? But a lot of that's at 106. 92 to 106. It's horizontal. It hasn't made any new highs. It also hasn't sold off. QQQ highs right now, fighting those highs again. 538. It's doing the same thing as that it's been doing since November with Bitcoin. Hasn't gone any lower than 500. One occasion it did. It got right to 499, and it hasn't got any higher than 530. One occasion it got to 530. So it's trading between 500 and 530. Would I buy at 530 levels? No, not right now. Would I buy at $500 levels? Probably not. Because what if I bought at 500 for that bounce to 530 and then it drops all the way down to 400? That'd be scary. Doesn't mean it has to, but it could, even if it came down to 485. That's a huge drop. So right now the markets are overbought and consolidating at all-time highs, as well as Bitcoin. There are those little companies in between like PLTR who are just monsters from $20 to $118. These are those ones you want to find, right? That was in a very long time period, like almost a year. But like right here, 86% profit in like a week, in a month. 82% profit in a month. So when QQQ trades sideways, we look for opportunities to make money elsewhere. Gold has been pushing up from right here, lows of 35 to highs of 53, and we called this out. We called this out on our stock talk. We even traded it a little while back, but since January 1st, gold has been pushing up. So in 38 days, you could have made 50% profit holding whatever amount you wanted to hold in JNUG. Again, you wouldn't know this hindsight, but by these support levels, you sell the resistance levels. And that's how I've been doing it for quite some time now. On the 1 minute, on the 1 minute chart, not days. If it's flat on the 1 minute, I would just get out too, right? Because it's consolidating. Like right here, it's a good example. This is our 5 minute chart. But if it's flat on a 1 minute, there's probably no volume. Like right here, there's very little volume. Very little people want to buy or sell. A lot of people are waiting for there to be movement. See, when there's high volume, there's movement in the stock. Same thing here. There's way more volume when there's movement. When there's a big buy and a big sell or a big move, push up. Same thing here. There's a lot of volume there comparative to other volume levels. So a key indicator would be volume. Look how much volume came in on this spike. Ton of volume came in. 152,000, 130,000, compared to 10,000. So if there's no movement on the 1 minute, then that means there's probably no volume and no one's really even looking at it. Or if you get movement like this on the 1 minute, it doesn't know what to do. It doesn't know what direction to take. In this case, it's very bearish because it's below that moving average. Hope that helps. Do you own any crypto? A little bit of Bitcoin. Own some Bitcoin in a holding account. But I didn't buy at 99,000. I mean, I've been buying since 15, 20,000. I bought a little more at 30, a little at 50. I even got some at 75. But after 75, I stopped investing. Took a little off the top at 90 and a little at 95. And then it pushed up to 100, 105, 106. And I have not sold at the top, nor have I gotten out of any of my other. I haven't added to it either, so made some decent profits though. But again, I've been trading for years, guys, for years, like eight plus years. I've been following the markets in Bitcoin. Again, I remember when Bitcoin pushed above 10K, and everyone thought that was so crazy that Bitcoin could be at $10,000. And now look at it, it's at 100,000. Pretty crazy. Only wish I put more in, right? So this right here, this level, so, you know, very bullish. It was showing signs of bullishness. Now it's going to come down and test the moving average. If I take off the VWAP and the super trend, which again, super trend is still indicating that it is bullish. But if I take those two off, here's our moving average. This is our 200-day moving average. And on the 1 minute, it looks good, right? This is why I like the different time frames. On the 5 minute, it's below that moving average still. Right? Still showing signs of it being bearish. On the daily, has a doji candle at support. I'm looking for that reversal. Doesn't mean it has to happen right now. But if we can get above this little level here, then we could see a nice reversal pattern. On the 30 minute, it is above that 9-day moving average. Okay, it's red, but it's above. It's testing. On the 5 minute, it's also testing that 45-day moving average. If we can hold, then we can continue to see some more upward momentum. Snap as well, kind of the same setup here. We're looking for it to get above that moving average. Still below it on the 30 minute, but still somewhat bullish. Okay, still holding. And that's exactly what these can do all day long. They can literally just chop all day, like this one, how it like chop, 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 and then it pushed up, and then chop, chop. Chop, chop, chop. Right? This one could dramatically sell off. Just huge sell off, push back up. Huge sell off, push back up. So that's what I saw today. I saw the huge pullback, and then was hoping for that nice little push back up. Not really hoping, but what we're waiting for. That's what we're waiting to see. Ford super sideways. Mara sideways, but holding above 1650. You know, it's still pushing up, and it's still early in the day, guys. It's 8:16. We've been live for 50 minutes. It's amazing how fast an hour can go by when you're doing something you love, right? As SoFi hitting that resistance, still hasn't found a way to get above it. And guys, you know, we're going to go over a few more things here, but for all of you still watching, if you want to track my trades and keep up with my current trades, join the Discord. In the trade ideas chat room is where I'll put, you know, if I'm adding to a position, if I'm selling out of a position, if I'm taking profits, if I'm selling for a loss. I do all that in the trade ideas section in the Discord, 100% free. It's easy to join, and it's lifetime access. When this live stream ends, if I'm still holding a position, which obviously I'm holding a few positions, that's where you can get updates. I'll let you know, hey, I just reduced my position size by 10 shares of Snap at these levels because I'm seeing signs of resistance. Or I'm adding to XPEV because it broke 1590 and we're headed to 17. So I'm adding more. I will do that in our trade ideas section every day after the live stream ends if I am in a position. There are a lot of times we'll do these live streams. We'll get in and we'll get out of a position in the live stream and we're done for the day. and then there will be no updates required on that day. So I hope that was easy to understand. And we're going to be testing XPEV. Again, very, I'm not worried about holding this a little longer, as I know there is potential for it to bounce at the $15 levels because it has previously before. It could also go down to $14 levels. Okay, so I know where my stop is. I know my trade plan and what my thought process is. Now that move could have been very easily, could have already happened, a nice 2% move. But I do believe now that it's above that moving average, on the 1 minute at least, we can get some more upward direction. Again, it's going to have to test a few more levels here as far as getting above 1590. But hey, still very excited. So today, neither a loss nor a green day right now. We're still somewhat in that break-even period. Okay, so any one of these trades can take off. And right now, we're not looking too bad on some of these other random little half-piece trades. So I made them getting out of them. Like if we wanted to sell Coca-Cola for a 4% profit right now, we can go to sell, and we're going to do market. We're going to do all of our shares, including fractional percentage amount. I wonder if I can only do it on my phone. It's so odd. I want to sell. The minimum order for fractional is 5. Maximum quantity. Oh, wow. So you get a $3 share and then you can't sell it unless you have $5. That's very interesting, WEBULL. WEBULL. Can I sell this one? I can sell it for a loss, I guess. That's odd. I know you can sell fractional shares during market hours only. I know that. Bitcoin. Go the 30-minute, the 5-minute. Yeah, see all this consolidation at 96. If it gets below, if it gets like it got below that level, and if it stayed below it, we would have got another sell off to 95 or 94. But it looks like because it's maintaining, see where it consolidated yesterday, consolidating above that moving average, we can potentially see it go back to 98. And it also doesn't have to do anything. It could just trade sideways. What do you think about XRP? Man, I got a lot of buddies who are invested in XRP. I just, I don't know, man. It's weird, right? Like Bitcoin is already valueless. Money is valueless unless we put value on it. So, I mean, XRP's based off of something, based off of something else, based off of something else. Like you're talking about removing 10 times value on something. Now, again, it could also be a vehicle to make money. If you find a way to make money on XRP, there is value in it. Buying low, selling high. But I would not hold any crypto. I wouldn't hold any crypto other than Bitcoin. Right? And Litecoin or meme coins, all those other things, they're all based off of Bitcoin. What if the government came in and was like, no more meme coins, and you had money invested and you lost it all? I mean, they probably can't do that anyways, but at least Bitcoin is somewhat more like, you remember like Haktua coin? Or literally any coin, Pepe coin, Dogecoin, all these coins, they just pump and dump. People lose a ton of money that way. People could also make a ton of money. But yeah, I don't, Bitcoin's pretty much the only one that I look at, and I'll trade Mara, which is a stock, which is a Bitcoin holding company with like thousands and thousands of Bitcoin. Like if not like 100,000s of Bitcoin. I can't remember exactly how much they're holding. They have 265,000 operating miners, and I think they pulled like 500 or 1,200 Bitcoin out of thin air, like within a month. So it's pretty amazing. I mean, when you look at it like that, Synex, Century Aluminum, very nice. Again, I like this setup. Very nice setup. Been very bullish. You notice how Matt called this out? Well, Matt's calling it out in an uptrend, not a downtrend, right? When it crosses over these moving averages, it sells off, it retested, couldn't break above, so everyone started selling, indicating a lot of selling pressure, and it's selling off. Now, did the same thing here. It consolidated. It got rejected for quite a few days before it finally pushed above that moving average, retested it as a support now instead of a resistance. So now instead of it being a ceiling pushing you down or the ocean pushing you down, you're now a surfer gliding above the wave, or now stair stepping up some steps, however you want to look at it. Let me know what analogy you like better. Anyways, by identifying that it was now bullish, right, holding above and then above these moving averages, the 45-day exponential and the 9-day, very nice clean trade here. Could have been a swing trade of 25% profit in 5 days, or a nice trade here off of Synex, right? Right now today, pushing from 20.92 to 22.92. $2 profit, 9%, right? 9% profit, $2 per share. Buying 100 shares at 20, $2,000. Selling 100 shares at 22.92, $2,200, almost $2,300. So making $200 in a very short amount of time, within about 17 minutes. By again, maybe Matt had this in his watch list. Maybe Matt was watching this for a little while. Maybe it came up on his scanner. But what you can do is go to right click, add to watch list. And heck, we could add this to our watch list. And there we go. We have a better understanding of a company that has some really nice movements. Very bullish from 5 to 25. Came all the way back down to retest that support on the 200-day moving average, and as it found that support, people like me and you, Matt, see that opportunity, and then we're able to take advantage of that opportunity. Very, very nice clean move today, Matt. Congratulations, sir. Very clean move indeed. And you know why also aluminum went up? Because the tariffs. Trump put a tariff on aluminum, which is going to make the price of aluminum cans go up. And there you go. So you could trade off of politics, you could trade off of news, you could trade off a lot of things. Oh yeah, it says it right here. Trump tariff lifts U.S. metal prices, industry set to struggle. Yep. So gold, silver, aluminum, everything should go up, but at what price? Well, price to the consumer. We're going to have to pay more for cans. We're going to have to pay more for canned beer, canned soda, canned goods. Literally everything is going to go up. But hopefully within time, these tariffs will then be able to pay back to us Americans, I guess. Sorry, everyone else. And get us out of this deficit. I mean, we're in a huge deficit right now. And I think this is his only way to try to get out. There we go. Apple pushing above our free share price that we got. Look at this rebound here. Beautiful. From 226 to 232. A $7, 3% profit from Apple in a single day. In a single, well, almost a single 1 hour candle. It's almost like a 2 hour candle now. And there's nothing stopping Apple either from pushing up even higher. So great live stream today, guys. I really enjoyed hanging out with you and answering questions. Snap is still above that moving average, so we still have that potential reversal pattern playing out back up to highs of $11. Could be a 4% profit. And on 31 shares at 1060, I myself can see a nice 50 cents, or about, what's that, $15? About a $15 play there. Already up $3. XPEV, again, holding above these smaller moving averages, but still needs to get above that 200-day moving average. So with the amount of shares I have, could see a $24 profit, about 1.5% if it tests that moving average, about $30, 2%. If we get above that 200-day moving average, you can get back up to yesterday's pre-market level or after hour levels. It's like a $100 profit right there, or 6% per share. So definitely going to be holding on to this a little longer to wait to see if it plays out. Ford, probably going to be one of my first swing trades of the year, as well as possibly Mara. If Bitcoin doesn't push up today, I know it'll probably push up tomorrow. It's just a matter of time for it to get back to that level again. I'll show you right now. Bitcoin, again, still here. If it sells off, I'll probably get out of Mara, or I'll add more to a lower level. But if it can go back up, then Mara will go up by today, and I can sell out and get a nice little profit now. On Mara, 20 shares, risking about $4, $5, maybe even $10. I don't know yet. Risking a few bucks to potentially make $10, $15, even $25 on Mara. Apple, again, free share, nothing crazy. It says I think I have to wait for $5 to sell it or something. So I'm going to see if that's true. And then I'll let you know if that's true or not. If we have to wait for this to be $5 to sell it, because they gave it to me at $3. So that's kind of odd. Spotify, again, don't have really anything in it, just a free share. Still potential to sell off even more though, because it is testing that moving average. If it can't hold that moving average, like it doesn't look like it has, it will sell off. If it can hold, it'll bounce off a move average and go back up. Google also pushing up, and Coca-Cola, a beautiful move based off of a breakout that we identified right here. Big breakout pattern. I told you guys every week we were watching it, and it finally happened. It finally broke through that resistance level of $64, went all the way up to 67. So anyone who was watching that breakout made a nice 5% profit overnight. Congratulations to anyone who held. Currently up 3% on my free share. So we're up about $3. I haven't taken any profits or losses on today's trades at all. So we're at zero still. We're at break even. But Snap's still looking good. XPEV still looking good. So I'll keep you guys updated in the trade ideas. Kristen, take a look at RKLB. All right, RKLB. Okay, I immediately see why you're identifying this. We have tracked this company before. Now I did have lows of 345, and it has pushed up. This is Rocket Labs USA. Recently, it's had a nice horizontal pattern. A lot of consolidation at $28. You could even see some support level, some lower support levels at about $27.40. And there are some lower resistance levels than that previous $32 that we drew out. Looks like there's quite a bit of resistance at $30.50, possibly even $30. I'd say $30.50 is a pretty strong resistance. As you can see, it's gotten rejected multiple times off of that 350 level. It's also a psychological number. It's a round hole number. But as far as right now, right, it's starting to show signs of support off of that moving average, and it's starting to show signs of it being bullish. So good call out here. On the 1 minute, it doesn't look so good, right? But we're on the 5 minute. But 30 minute and the 1 hour are going to give you a better depiction of the overall direction, right? The 1 minute and the 5 minute are good to use when you're day trading and even swing trading. But that's when you're like in the moment wanting to take your entry and your exit. But when you're wanting to take a swing trade or any trade at all, you definitely want to see your 1 hour and your daily. I like to start with the daily. Your daily tells you what is going on overall, bigger picture. Still very bullish, above those moving averages. The 1 hour, it's above the 200-day, and it's finding some support after a big sell-off here. Okay, big sell-off can mean a rebound, or it can mean selling off even more back to $27. So a great call out on this, Kristen. I love it. I love that you're doing your own research. Kristen, which moving average more important, 5, 10, 20, 60, or 200? 200. Your 200 is going to be like your, it's just going to be more solid, because your 200-day is going to track 200 days of this stock and its movement. On a daily chart is going to give you the best indication of direction. Look at MNTS. Would you want to invest in MNTS if you saw a chart like this? No. That's why penny stocks are very risky. What about FOX? No. It's below that moving average. I wouldn't touch this with someone else's money, like at all. You put money in this, you're going to lose it. What you want to do is you want to get into companies like PLTR. Nice pull up, nice push up, and then these huge breakaways. Now, the only thing about huge breakaways from the 200-day moving average on a daily is it could retrace back to the moving average. It can go all the way back down to the moving average. That's a 62% loss. It doesn't have to, but it can. Snap. Would you invest in Snap at these levels? I would invest in Snap here when your 200-day moving average is up and all of your other little moving averages are above it. But as soon as your little moving averages, the 45, the 9, the 20, the 60 even, as soon as it crosses below the 200-day on a daily, you are effed. You are screwed, because there's going to be a lot of selling pressure. And the selling pressure will continue and continue and continue until it can get above that moving average again. So I love moving averages. You could literally trade all day long with support, resistance, and moving averages. That's all you need. You don't need Bollinger Bands. You don't need oscillators. And honestly, I don't even really use my RSI anymore. Like, I could take the RSI off, although it is a good indicator still. With all these indicators, though, combined, you can make a better understanding of direction, okay? I wouldn't buy if it's below the moving average. Neither would many other people. But as soon as it crosses over these moving averages, boom, you're riding that wave up. Now, what wave are you riding? If it's above the 200-day moving average, I would then ride the 9-day or the 45-day. The 9-day is a little closer. Do you see that? And this is still on a daily time frame. I hope you understand that. Still on a daily time frame. It pushes above the 200-day moving average right here. It got rejected once, but then it pushed up right here, and ever since it trailed along that 9-day EMA. Now that's where I would have took profits. As soon as it crossed below that 9-day, I would have took profits. You also could have took profits way up here at the top. It's at 1790. It pulled back to 1720. I'm out. Because as soon as it gets rejected multiple times, boom, quick, either a huge gap down or a sell-off. And now it's below that moving average again until we get another gap up. So I hope that makes sense. As of right now, you said RKLB. Kind of got a little off track here. On the 1 hour, on the daily, very bullish. 1 hour, very bullish. So good job identifying that. That's why your 1 minute and your 5 minute could be super deceiving. Because look, it's below the 200 on the 1 minute and it's below it on the 5 minute. But as soon as you go to the 30 minute, you're like, oh wait, it's above the 200-day moving average. So it's therefore identifying that, hey, it's bullish. So the 200-day on the daily, the 1 hour, and even the 30 minute are your best areas of focus when looking for direction. Then you can go into the 5 minute and the 1 minute. Hope that helps, Kristen. Smash the like button for me. As of right now, though, it is making lower lows, lower highs, okay? So you see that? It's lower lows and lower highs. So not the best trade. I wouldn't take this trade, honestly, right now, okay? You can, but I technically wouldn't because it's still on that backside, right? It got that resistance at 30.50. And why, Kristen? Because it's had resistance previously at 30.50. So that's why I love the 1 hour and that's why I like the 1 hour. You could even do 4 hour. I don't have 4 hour on here, but you can go to this little button and you could hit 4 hour, and I could actually have 4 hour on here now. 4 hour is something that a lot of people use. So many people use 4 hour. And there we go. If we can get above this 45-day moving average and past this little trend, we can then get a nice little breakout and then get a retest at 29.70 and then get another breakout. Okay? But right now it seems like there's a little bit of resistance at 29.30, another psychological number. Oh. Guys, we got to get over double digits on the likes. Got over 20 people watching. We got to get it over at least 10 likes. So looking at your company, Kristen, I mean, you could technically take a small day trade on it if this holds, right? 29.37 to 29.79, 50-cent move, right? It could be very quick, very sudden. It could be very slow. But if this breaks, this can sell off even more, okay? This can go back down to 28.90 or even more than that. So the right time to buy is when you think there is a strong conviction in getting in, right? I would have wanted to get in over here. This was the move, Kristen. It pushed above the 200-day, the EMA. That would have been where I took like maybe 10 shares at 28, 10, 20 shares. It tested 28.60 as a resistance, came back down, went back up, came back down, went back up, came back down, went back up. And then now as it slowly trickles, like I would have bought more at 28.60. I would have bought more at 29. And you could say coulda, shoulda, woulda, but as it's following this moving average, a purple line up, that's where I would have been writing it up. That was an 11% profit or $3 per share yesterday. And then as it curls over on this moving average, that would have been your first indication to sell. Sell when it crosses below the 9 EMA. And then it just kind of flatlined, consolidated, trying to hold that resistance as a support level for the majority of after hours. It couldn't hold it, and now it's beginning a sell-off period. Okay, it's selling off. So it's still in a sell-off period. I don't want you to not, think that. Just because it's above the 200-day moving average on the 4 hour and the 1 hour, this could be a good opportunity to buy. The opportunity would have been on that break, the 28.90. Right? So adding a little at 28.90, maybe adding a little more at $29. That was a nice mover already. 28.90 to 29.40, that was 50 cents per share, almost 2%. Now it could still go up even more than that, right? It can go back up to $30. 7%, $2 per share. So it's a good call out. It's an amazing call out, but only you could technically be the one to take that trade. Or I couldn't tell you when to take that trade. I can just give you information. I traded yesterday, very good trade, $1,000. Good job, Kristen. Good job. $1,000 profit on that move. That's what we're talking about. And you didn't need a lot, right? I mean, you could have used 50 shares. 50 shares and made $1.50. You could have used 33 shares. 33 shares and still made $1 profit per share. I don't know where I was going with that. 33 shares. Yeah, it would still technically be $100 because it went up $1. I don't know. Anyways, very good trade, Kristen. Very good trade, Kristen. 12% profit. Now, are you looking for it to do it again? It can, possibly. Especially if there's news. And it's Rocket Labs, so there's always going to be something going on with Rocket Labs and space and everything going on now with Elon Musk and stuff. Not saying that Elon Musk is associated with it, but just feels like we're in like another little space war type thing. So yeah, very cool. Very, very cool. still making lower lows. So I hope that helps. All right, let's take a look at my trades one more time. Snap, still, it's above, but not doing much. Up 1% on Snap. We need to get that nice break above, or it's really not going to do much of anything. XPEV, again, pushing up about $7. Still maintaining, and now it's very bullish, getting above those levels. And Mara, still bearish, not really able to get above or below, but again, maintaining kind of everything. Those three trading somewhat sideways today. So all right, that's where I'm gonna end the live stream. We're up about $10 at the moment. We're looking for about like a maybe $20 to $50 day. Any more than that is just more. So yeah, I'll keep you guys up to date in the trade ideas. Thank you for your time. Like always, let's remember to end the year on a green note. Smash that like button and consider subscribing to the channel if you haven't already. Thank you guys, and we will see you in today's recap video and tomorrow morning's live stream, where we get to do it all over again at market open. Thanks for watching. We'll see you all later.